Hey guys, what's up? I'm Giselle and today I'm really excited to show you guys what I had in my cosmetology state board exam bag. So let's start off with where I'm from. I'm from Alabama, and for every state there is a different state board, like requirements and stuff, so make sure that you know that from the beginning. So the stuff that I have isn't the same for people who live in Georgia or like Mississippi, okay? So how you can find out is I'm pretty sure that every state has like their requirements online. So what I did is I typed in onto Google Alabama State Board Cosmetology, and then like I just like looked through the website and they had requirements, and like my website had like what we were gonna do for the test and like our time and stuff. So the test is timed and it like tells you how long each part is. My test was probably like 4 hours long or 5. I started at like 8 in the morning and I got out by like 12. It was really easy compared to the practical because it tells you exactly what you're doing, like I was saying. But for the written part, you literally have to study like the whole book and like remember so many things. And then when you go to take your written exam, it's in a computer and it's multiple choice. Well, at least mine was. And like the questions were so easy. And I was like, wow, I was studying like the hardest things ever. Some of it comes naturally to other people, and sometimes tests like that makes you more nervous. So because I remember in school, my teachers were like, a lot of people don't pass the written test because they get so nervous and like it's really hard. But honestly, it wasn't hard for me. There was a lot of questions about like nail diseases and like the chemical stuff about hair whenever like it was like in perm rods, and also pH scaling and stuff, knowing like how what your hair is on the scale. I forgot about all this stuff, but it was actually really easy for me and I passed the first time and also the practical. So I'm going to give you guys as much as I can from my experience, and if you guys have any questions, of course comment down in the video and I will reply to you as soon as I can. And yeah, so let's get started. This bag has been with me for a while now. I took it in December, and then after that I didn't get rid of the bag because I was like, if I don't pass, I need this bag still, like to take the practical again. So I kept it, and then when I got my results, I passed, and like I still hadn't thrown anything away. So my school provided me with the bag, and each state, I'm pretty sure, requires a certain bag and like the dimensions you can have, because some girls do take luggages, like actual maletas that they travel with to like an airport. But I just use the same bag from my school. It's black and it has to not have any like brands on it. So like mine had a Veda in the front, so I covered it with duct tape, with black duct tape, okay? I couldn't just use any duct tape. I mean, you could, but it's not the best to stand out. You want to stay as hidden as possible. Like by that I mean like you have to go in there looking presentable, of course. Don't go in with pajamas, but don't go in there with like pink earrings or like a pink hot lipstick, because it's a really stressful test and you don't want to stand out, you know? So make sure you just look presentable and very neutral. And I wore black, but I saw other girls like just wear anything. Like they wore a lot of colors and like brown boots and like I wore all black. So yes, some even wore scrubs. So but yeah, I put black duct tape in the front to cover the name of my school. I went to Aveda, and I have a lot of videos about like my school, so if you guys want to go check that out, I'll leave some links up here. I made a lot of notes to make sure that I was like not forgetting anything. I did go in with some girls who forgot like the finger bowl and everything, and I was like, how are they not like crying right now that they forgot that? Because I literally did this the day before, like checked and everything. I even have like the sections. So let's start off with my universal supplies. So the first thing that I did was I got a bunch of Ziploc bags so that nothing leaks out. So a lot of people in my class were saying that this leaks, the barbicide wipes. So I made sure to keep that in like a big Ziploc bag with like my water bottle. And everything does have to be labeled so that they know what it is or what it's supposed to be. So like this has H2O. Obviously that's water, and everything has to be labeled in English, so that's like a no-brainer. And then here I have water and cleanser. Can you guys see that? So the reason why I had this in my universal supplies is because I knew that I was gonna have to have this in almost every section. Whenever I was doing like the facial, I use this whenever I had to clean the back of her ear to make sure that the hair color didn't like give her an allergic reaction. So that's why I kept it in my universal supplies. Again, my teachers always recommended us to go to the Dollar Tree or like the dollar section of Walmart or Target to get containers like this. And don't waste a lot of money. You really don't. I think I spent $100, but it's because I had to get like the cotton coils, and I had to get like some gloves and towels. So sometimes you can find like a way to like use stuff from home, but I just didn't have anything. I wanted everything to look uniform and like particular because I'm really like anal about that. But anywho, so I did get these bigger bags from the Dollar Tree, as you can tell, because they're kind of ripping on me. So they're not the best, like they're not the greatest quality, but they did the job. So I made sure to have everything labeled so that I know that for this section I have to pull out, universal supplies. So I would grab that. And also I organized my bag by like the order of what we were doing. So like I wouldn't be stressed out. I'd be like, okay, the next step is like obviously the next bag. You see what I'm saying? So in here I have like my little roll of paper, a hand sanitizer that I got from the Dollar Tree. My teacher was always telling us to grab hand sanitizer that had like aloe vera or something soothing to the skin because you are constantly sanitizing your hands. And then I also had some cotton rounds, and I also had it labeled. Remember, you have to have everything labeled. And then I had a first aid kit that I also labeled, and I have like my plastic gloves, a little hand sanitizer wipe, and another extra bag, because whenever you do like the blood exposure part of the exam, you have to like double bag the blood contaminated paper. So then I organized my client 1 bag. As you can tell right there, I wrote it on the little paper. I have my curling iron. So in my test, we didn't have to plug it up. We had to like mimic it. So I was really confused about this because in the exam, it literally says like, do not turn on your iron, but like do the curling part. So like how would they know if we did the curl right if it's just straight hair? So my teachers told us that we had to put rollers in the night before the exam, and then like take them out obviously before you go into the exam, and like brush them out a little bit. Again, ask your educator or go online. Make sure that you read everything. You can never be over prepared for the state board exam. I don't know about you guys, but in my class for learning how to take the state board, we had to make sure, and also online, underneath the curling iron part, we had to test if it was hot. So by that, we had to pretend that this was on, and then put this little thermal paper in, and then click. We had to make a loud noise so that they saw we did that, and then we would start curling the hair. So I had this in there, and then I had a brush to brush her out. And we also had like, in that client 1, we had to cut her hair with razor and shears, scissors, whatever. So I had 2 razors in this little bag because you can never have enough, okay? So if you drop something, obviously you cannot use it on the client anymore. So my razor had like a piece that would slip out constantly, and I was so scared that it would fall out and I couldn't use it anymore. So I was prepared with 2. And obviously before you start touching your client, you have to dress her up well, like put a cape on, the towel, and everything. So I actually went onto Amazon and I bought this for less than like $10. It's a tiny cape. I think it's called like a wig cape or something. And these are really small, and they're not going to hang dramatically like and make you trip on the cape. So this really helps to keep everything not so everywhere. Highly recommend that you guys do that. And then these are my scissors. I got these from school. I'm sorry, my shears. So these are my school shears, and they're actually really, really good. I cut myself with them. So, and I kept a brush in there just in case if my other brush fell, because if you guys drop combs, you can't pick it up. You have to put it in your trash bin that says like disinfect items, which I'll get to that part, but just wait. And then I had clips. Just some metal clips. Alright, so now I'm going to do a recap of my client 1. I remember that we had to show her that we had to curl the hair, and then after we curl the hair, we had to wet her down completely, and they give you time, like 5 minutes or so. So once her hair was completely wet, that was when we had to do the haircut. And the requirements were for us to use shears and razor. my teacher said that if you wanted to do the whole haircut with a razor and then at the last like just check it with shears that it could be fine. I cut her whole perimeter with the razor, and then for the layers, because in my test we were required to make long layers, so I did the layers with the shears, and then I just cross-checked everything with my shears. Now here, this is client 2, so you have to dress her up properly, get rid of like the old cape and put that in items to be disinfected or whatever. And I had to bring out my foils, so I had foils in here, labeled foils, and I put a piece of cardboard in here so that my foils wouldn't be ugly and wrinkly. That's a good tip for y'all. For client 2 cape, it had to be a chemical cape, so this one's a little thicker, but it's also really short. So yeah, I think I would actually use this for my makeup kit because this will protect my client from like powder or makeup falling onto her shirt. And then I have a box of end papers because we had to do a chemical, what is this called? A chemical perm. So I have a bunch of perm rods here. And a tip for y'all is to make sure your rods, if you can choose the size of your perm rod, choose like a bigger one, because I saw some girls that had thinner ones and they took a while to like roll the hair. So make sure you get a big one so that you're not there forever. I was probably like the first one done, but of course my work was clean. And then I have some gloves. I have lightener. Relaxer and hair color. So whenever you use these chemicals, you have to use gloves, of course. In the salon, you never see people wear gloves unless they're like fully drenching your hair in color. Then obviously they'll use some gloves. But for highlighting, you never see people using gloves. But anyway, so these little containers, Dollar Tree. And the food coloring is also from the Dollar Tree. You have to make sure that each of your bins are a different color so they know that you are using the appropriate chemical. And then I have protective cream for whenever I did the relaxer. This chemical here, it's not protective cream. It's actually my lotion. Like, I think it's like a lotion that I wasn't using anymore. So be creative. Just use whatever you can. We had to divide her into 5 sections. Let me show you my drawing. This is my mannequin's head. Don't make fun of it. It's pretty. He has a wide head. This part right here in the center is where we did the 4 foils. And then over here we did a strand test. And then on her left side we did a virgin relaxer. And then on this quadrant here was nothing. And then on the right quadrant right here was the color retouch. And what I was saying about me using that water / cleanser thing in my Universal Supplies, this is when I used it to clean for her predispositional, I can't say that word, predisposition. Anyway, and then here I have a little star to remind myself to apply protective cream whenever we did her retouch, because you don't want the color to get on her skin. And also to apply protective cream on the scalp when we did the virgin relaxer. So making notes like that is really, really crucial because you can forget stuff like that very easily, and those could be points deducted from your end result. So yeah, that's it. That's all I have in my bag, and I have clips in there too. And then we had to do a basic facial. So that's what this bag is labeled. I'm telling you guys, label everything. Make sure you have it all in a bag, and your life will be so much easier. You're not stressed out, and you'll be like breezing through this exam with no issue, and all the other girls are gonna be like going through their bag like this, okay? So for the basic facial, in this bag I had like all the liquids, so just in case if anything leaked. And I had this in there. This is the shower cap I was talking about. So this I put on top of her foils, and she was just like laying backwards on the mannequin stand. So some people, my teacher said that some people will take off the mannequin stand and lay her on the table, but like she would be rolling everywhere. So we just put her like back all the way and then worked on her face. I have water, and it is water. And then I have massage product, and this is just a lotion again that I never used. And then this is a moisturizer. It's another lotion that I never used. And then toner, which is water. And then you have to exfoliate her face, so I have an exfoliant in here. It's like an apricot scrub. And then I have a little spatula to be sanitary and take it out of the little tin. And then to exfoliate, I have to use like a brush. So I'm actually going to keep this because I really, really like it. But I got it from the Dollar Tree. Again, Dollar Tree will be your best friend for this exam. Here, I had a steam towel. And the day before, I had to make sure that I put a towel underneath the sink, of course, to like get it wet. And then or you could wet it like the morning of you going to the exam. Just don't forget, okay? Make sure that it is moist. So then we had to like shake it out and test it on our wrist and then put it on her face after we applied the exfoliant to like clean it off and stuff. And I do have some clips in there just to make sure that no hair is like everywhere and make it easier for me to put the shower cap on her. And of course for the facial, we had it timed and we had to do certain steps in certain order. Cleanse, toner, exfoliate, then the steam towel, and then we had to apply the massage product, remove massage product, then apply more toner, and then apply moisturizer. And that was the end of the section. And then we had to, either you could take away your mannequin for this next part, or you could leave her there, which I did. I think I just left her on the little mannequin stand to proceed to the manicure part, which was the best part of the exam because we got to sit down. Again, organized bag, pulled it out, and we had to bring our own little bowl. And some girls put it in like a cereal bowl. I saw that. Another girl forgot, the girl that forgot her finger bowl, she put it in the color bowl. Like the color bowl that you put your cholesterol, or like, yeah, she did that. So hey, she made it work. But anyway, so I have water in here. If you're asking like why do you need water, I use this water to like dispense it into the finger bowl, which I didn't fill it all the way. I just put a little bit so that they saw that I did put water in it. And then like I rolled her hand in here. Let me just show you. You do have to have a mannequin hand. So I put a little bit of water and I literally went like this because her hand doesn't bend, of course, to like fit the bowl. So you just have to like roll it back and forth to immerse all her fingers. For my exam, we had to put fingernails on her already. We had to have a finger brush. Again, I think I got this from the Dollar Tree. This I got from the Dollar Tree. It's a little container for your nail polish remover. I'm going to keep this because this is really handy dandy. A nail buffer and a file, and also like a little orange stick. Then you had to label all your nail polishes and stuff. So I have my cuticle oil, which I will keep. I have my base coat, which my state board you can't have base coat and top coat in one. So this is my top coat. And then you had to paint your fingernails red. So I have my red polish. It couldn't be pink or blue or black. It had to be red cherry color. And then I also have like a cuticle cream here. We had to sanitize our hands and the mannequin's hand, okay? And then after that, we had to shape the free edges in one direction. I wrote that down to make sure that I did do that. Take out your finger bowl, apply the water into there, and then apply cuticle cream, push cuticles, then use a nail brush to remove any residue underneath the nails. Buff nails, cuticle oil, massage product, cleanse with a nail remover, base polish, red polish, top coat. Then you had to turn the hand to the examiner to show her that you are done. And I think for that part, it was probably like 20 minutes they gave us, or 30. They give you a lot of time, so you don't want to finish first, or I mean, if you can't avoid it, then it's all right. Sometimes I did finish first, but you want to take your time. You want to take up as much as the time you can so that they see that you're thoroughly doing everything step by step. Like, pretend that your mannequin is a real person, you know what I'm saying? So be smart with your time, but also be diligent with the product and enjoy the moment, even though you're like stressing out and like probably pooping your pants because you're so stressed. Which, by the way, before you go to your exam, make sure to eat something so ligero, which means like light. Don't eat something that you never do, or if you don't eat breakfast, make sure that you just eat maybe a fruit, or don't drink a lot of water because you have to pee, okay? And you don't want to take any time out of your exam. I made a notes list because I did do a run through with my sister the night before, so she can tell me exactly what I was doing wrong, because again, online it had all the procedures, what exactly the examiners were gonna say, and so she was literally reading word per word. So she told me to slow down, and then she told me to remember check iron's temperature. Like I was saying before, you go in with the curling, you have to like make a loud noise so they know that you have the thermal paper in between the clamp, and then make sure to wipe down table after client 1 and switch out towel. So sanitation is really what they care about on this exam. This exam isn't really about like, oh, she cannot put those foils in correctly, they look horrible. Maybe they may put a point or two, but it really counts for sanitation. I learned that the hard way because before this cosmetology exam, I took the natural hair license exam back when I was in high school, and so I really didn't know much. My teacher prepared us as well as she could, but she didn't tell us that it was mostly about sanitation. So when I went in there, I braided my little heart out. And keep in mind that I never knew how to put in a weave or a cornrow with like braiding hair in. So I was doing all of that in the natural hair license exam, and I didn't pass because of 1 point. I think my lowest score was my sanitation because I didn't use any of the wipes or anything to make my table clean before I switched clients. And also my mannequin's hair was purple for one of them, and you really don't want to stand out. So by that, I literally mean everything you have, I personally think should be neutral. So like the capes, make sure they're not like, I mean, if you have the ones with like smiley faces on them, so be it, but make sure that you're doing everything correct. So like I had everything black or white or navy blue. I really didn't want anything to pop out to the examiners, so I was really blessed because mine had the sweetest ladies ever. They were all very cheerful because it was around Christmas time, so they had Christmas sweaters on, and they were so nice. Because in my other exam for natural hair license, they were so rude and they were very intimidating. So I had to go through the worst to get to this point. So then of course you have to have bags that say like trash items to be disinfected, or what else is the other one? Soiled linens. I went a little crazy and I bought like the big bag. This I got from Target, but I saw some at Michael's that were the same color and a little tinier. And hey, so what I did is I doubled bagged them so that they could stand up on their own. You want to make sure that you're not touching them, and if you do touch them, sanitize those hands, girl. My teacher at cosmetology school, she always told us to make this really dramatic sound so they know that you have sanitized hands. That's my biggest tip too. Make a lot of noise so they know that you did it, because if they don't see it, it never happened. I also have this mannequin stand that I got in my kit from Aveda. They do sell one at Sally's Beauty Supply. It's a little shorter, a little more compact. Just make sure that your stand is good to go. You know how it works and stuff. So this was really good for me because it goes up and down. In my case, I'm really tall, so I could like put it all the way up. So yeah. I love this stand. Oh, and one part of the exam that I didn't talk about yet is the blood exposure part. So I think that happened right after the haircut. Like I was telling you guys, my first aid kit, I did put it in my universal supplies. So that means it's always going to be out. I never switch it out. It's always going to be right there no matter what client I'm going to have. And also keep in mind that you have to sanitize. For example, these were in my universal supplies, so they were out on the table the whole time. So when you like are transitioning from client 1 to client 2, make sure that not only are you sanitizing the table, but you're also wiping down these products. I know that's freaking crazy, but the cleaner you are, the better you'll have like a higher score. But anyways, for the blood exposure, I did have an extra bag in here for whenever like the trash, I didn't throw it just into the trash. I would put it in here first and then make sure it's closed and then throw it away. So it's double bagged. I think for this portion we had 10 minutes or 15. It went by like this. It was super easy. This is the easiest part because it's just like common sense. You want to wipe down the area. So our finger that was cut was the index finger, so make sure you know which finger is your index finger. You want to wipe it down, and then I put a band-aid on. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure that your school will teach you exactly how to do it, but again, go to your cosmetology state board website and I'm pretty sure you will have everything on there. If you guys are scared, it's normal. You're gonna be nervous, but those nerves can be good things. Like when you're nervous, don't think about it in a negative way. Think like, okay, I'm nervous because I really care about this and like I'm gonna be fine. You have to think confidently, because if you're not, whatever you put out into the universe, it will come back to you. So think like, yes, I'm gonna make it. Yes, I'm nervous, but I'm gonna kill this thing. And I did not go to school for a whole year just to fail it. So think about it like that. And again, if you have any questions, guys, please feel free to comment or send me a DM on my Instagram, which I will leave on the screen, and I will definitely reply to you. But yeah, anyway, so I hope that y'all enjoyed this video, and I hope that I didn't annoy y'all with all this talking, but I really hope that I answered any of your questions. Hopefully y'all enjoyed, and I will see you guys in my next video.